Hello, back to another Crypto Byte. Today, 26th, and coming off, and so let's hop right.
Yeah, so did you hear that? I heard it, but
yeah, I heard that too.
What an interesting weekend in Bitcoin. I mean, wow. Let's try and break down what exactly happened yesterday with that pump, because we had over 80,000 traders liquidated in a matter of like 20 minutes, totaling roughly $1 billion in liquidations, roughly. But, I think it really all started with a huge negative funding rate, meaning that shorts were actually paying a premium to get into their positions. And so they were really desperate. And, we were on the bearish side, not positioned necessarily, but we're leaning a little bearish based on our Friday show as well due to the technical formation. But then we got this really unexpected news out of Amazon that was absolutely huge. Amazon announced that they're going to integrate Bitcoin payments and launch their own token by 2022. That is just incredible news. It's almost like Apple putting crypto on their balance sheet, but it really shows that momentum and positive sentiment has taken a huge swing forward ever since the B-Word conference last week, and we saw a tremendous amount of price action as those shorts were squeezed last night. But how you doing, gentlemen? How was your weekend? What did you think of the price action?
I thought it was amazing. I think, now I'm going to forget his name. There were a bunch of really smart crypto Twitter posts over the weekend, I thought. They explored the same sort of things that CJ just spoke of, folks, as far as liquidations of shorts. How about that? Shorts for a change instead of just longs getting liquidated. And throughout Bitcoin's history, there have been, especially with the proliferation of derivatives, there have been a bunch of times when indeed we have seen the shorts get ripped. Many of us might think that the time period from the election all the way through middle of February was pretty much a pretty nice ripping of shorts there too. But I thought this was really interesting, guys. I thought the FTX 900 million, nearly $1 billion in capital raise. You guys know more about FTX. You've forgotten more than I remember. But FTX, Sam, and the guys over at Alameda, what does he call it? Alameda Research? Does he call some of his Twitter handle or something? Anyway, that's an incredible money raise, $900 million. And they've got that new arena down in Miami. That used to be the American Airlines Arena. Now it's FTX. And yeah, you're right. For a change, it wasn't a weekend filled with FUD. It was a weekend where there was a lot of really solid news, and even news that maybe Tether might be investigated for some sort of fraud hasn't taken the markets, to the downside. It might have kind of put a cap on the upside, but it certainly didn't slam us down like it would have a week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that Tether FUD, it's been around. So it's good to see that the market is, I guess, absorbed that news or is already used to it. So I see that Monty has dropped off due to his kind of mic issues, but I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and go over the technicals a little bit before we get into the Doge of the day, because this market is very, very interesting and there's really a lot to discuss. So I'm actually going to start by going over Ethereum, and because I think it's a little bit of a foreshadow to Bitcoin and what we could see. So something that's been very interesting that we've been highlighting, and essentially the reason why we were a little bit bearish going into the weekend was because had this textbook descending triangle, right? And these usually break to the downside, especially when they're already in downtrends. They're kind of continuation patterns. But as you can see, each one of these resistance levels, which had formerly served as strong resistance, got broken. And now we have a critical difference because we have the smooth moving average actually turning up, which may indicate the start of a new bull trend, and in fact mark that the bottom has been in. As you can see on the bottom as well, our technical ratings indicator has really exploded to the upside there with bullish momentum. We really haven't seen a increase like that and a flip ever since before the COVID crash. And I think that's very notable. And the reason why I'm starting with Ethereum here today is just because it's a more textbook descending triangle. Bitcoin is in a very similar state as well. But as you can see, we just haven't gotten over that previous higher low yet. I think if we can close above that level, form some type of support in which this level experiences a role reversal and flips from resistance to support, I think that the bulls are definitely in for some further momentum here if this support does hold, which right now I think it will.
Is it okay, CJ, if I put up a chart? Because I have a quick one to share of a chart that you already referenced. And I think for, let me see, share screen. Let's see, So the one that I want to share is, right. Let's see, how do I know if I'm showing you that screen? Are you seeing my BTC aggregated liquidations?
Not yet.
Okay, let me see.
If you go to share screen, and you can do it with the entire screen or just one tab, either way.
Okay, I'm trying to show just this one tab. Is that one up there now? I'm just not as used to the to this software.
Yes, we are seeing your chart now.
Okay, so what this is, guys, is just exactly what CJ just talked about at the top of the show. These are those aggregated liquidations, and you can see how it went from in the end of June, where the high liquidation was pretty much right there about the 26th of June. You see it over $200 million in liquidations, and you can kind of see the difference between longs and shorts being liquidated by the colors. Now go all the way over to the far right of that screen, and you're seeing as the market surged towards 40,000, and basically since last week, when 30,000, I guess the 21st, a week ago, when the Bitcoin held at 30,000, we've seen sort of a lackadaisical trade for 1, 2, 3, 4 days. And then on the, basically the overnight, the Sunday night, Monday morning, you see that massive spike there of maybe $600 or $700 million. And a big chunk of that was shorts that were being liquidated. And you see on the exchange side, Binance, Bybit, Deribit, FTX, Hubei, and so forth. Those liquidations really made a difference. And I'll stop sharing that, but I think that's something that we always want to pay attention to. There we go. So I think it doesn't just go one way, is the point that CJ made, that, you do get liquidations to the downside for, overly bullish folks that just were levered long, or short puts, which is also levered long. And instead, just in the last little bit, there were a lot of bets that we'd break 30 and trade into the 20s. And those are broken dreams pretty much right now.
Yeah, it will tend to happen when you get these liquidation cascades. Whenever a trade on Bitcoin gets crowded, either to the long side or the short side. Of course, we've seen longs in the past during periods of mania, but we had a lot of shorts stack up this time around. And with that outlier positive news event, bang, squeezed them. And, we even wicked up to, I believe it was 42, maybe even higher, 42,000 on Binance very briefly when that liquidation did occur. But Being said, John, do you have any doges of the day or any interesting ideas how you want to play these market moves?
Well, for a change, CJ, back to my Dr. Doge acronym or moniker, we did see about a 12% move out of Dogecoin. I don't know that I need to make that the Doge of the day, but it's pushing towards 13% right now on heavy volume. Polkadot pumping as well. Uniswap, there's an awful lot of positives among the altcoins. And I can't remember if it was Vandepop that said it, CJ, Mikhail Vandepop, when he was saying that as Bitcoin heads back towards 40 on the squeeze, you'll see some of the alts go 80 to 150%. And certainly you look at Chainlink. I think somebody last week asked me if I had Chainlink, and I happily said yes. It is up 31% in the last 7 days. And I'll throw that one out, CJ, as, I'm holding. Chainlink, it's 1908. It's up 17% in the last 24 hours. And this thing's going through a nice pump right here.
Agreed. I'm very bullish long-term on Chainlink. That's one of ours in our macro portfolio for the Market Rebellion community. Looking at some of the assets here, I really like Mana today. I think that it has a very limited resistance ahead. Let me pull up the chart on that one just to give another more in-depth perspective.
So Mana's trading, Decentraland is trading about 72 cents, CJ, right here in rough terms.
Yes, we're just under 72 cents, but I really like that we're above the moving average. The moving average is already starting to turn over, and there actually has been some decent volume in this one over the course of the weekend. As you can see, we're starting to get a very nice flip bullish in terms of moving averages and kind of momentum indicators. That's what the technical ratings indicator does. It takes a combination of a lot of indicators like the RSI and MACD and combines them into one simplistic viewpoints. So Mana is going to be my Doge of the day for that reason, but I've been doing a lot of fundamental analysis and due diligence on XCH, being Chia, and I like this one. It's very far down from the moving average. It's just starting to get a nice bullish engulfing candle, but I've been steady accumulating this one over the past week. When you look at the long-term fundamentals, you can see that, Bram Cohen is behind this one. Great programmer, obviously created BitTorrent in the early 2000s. And we've had a $61 million funding round led by Andreessen Horowitz and Naval Ravikant, two really profound venture capitalist investors. And if we look at, let me see where it is. We look at the top 50 angel investors with more than 20 investments, look who comes up as number one. And so, that combined with Bram Cohen and Blockstream developers and a lot of other really talented folks being part of this project, I'm really excited about it long term. And not my Doge of the day per se, but definitely one that I'll continue buying and scaling into. So
also, CJ, I'll point out that the sponsor of this program, Voyager, shares are up almost 10% today. What a great move this one has made in the last 5 days. 5 days ago, the stock was basically $11. Now it's nearly 15. It's 14.79 right now. VYGVF is the symbol. It's a $2 billion regulated exchange out of Canada that is a crypto broker in every state but New York. And that's only because FinCEN in New York is it's the toughest license to get. So they're still trying. And if you're a New York resident, I'm sorry. I wish they were, that you could avail yourself of it because you don't pay commissions, 60 plus assets. They pay you up to 12% APR on deposited crypto. If you open an account there, they will give you $25 in Bitcoin if you enter Rebel25. That's our code, Rebel25, and you'll get $25 in Bitcoin just for opening an account. And if you want to follow CJ and Monty in the Daily Crypto Room that's open 24/7, your first month costs you just $1. So make sure you check it out. Go to marketrebellion.com/try crypto.
Yeah, had a very nice and pretty long conversation in the room yesterday. A lot of really insightful things being said and some really great charts being passed around. So thank you for that. And thank you for joining us here today, Jon. Any last words before we sign off?
The squeeze might not be over yet. And as CJ already indicated, folks, sometimes things are just squeezes. We made it so far above that 34,000 resistance that this could indeed be, his smooth moving average curving up like that. Could mean that people are going to have to chase it here again, CJ. And that's always a good feeling for those of us that are in.
Yeah, FOMO really does. It comes out of nowhere and it creeps up very fast, especially when you just have a couple billionaires come out and really emphasize their points and their optimism going into the future. So with that being said, thank you everyone for watching today, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. So apparently it's